How do you, this is probably more for Herb, how do you craft a strategy when you are marketing to both B2C and B2B?
Strategy for B2B, B2C? I mean, I'd very simply craft two. I mean, I would have an overarching theme that probably revolves around the company's goals and the company's vision. But then when it comes to communicating with people, the more you can drill down into who you're communicating with, what are their likes, what are their dislikes, what are their deeper, areas that are really going to drive that buyer motivation, that interest. Like, you have to really understand the buyer, and that's going to be two completely different conversations.
How do you get hourly employees to feel included and care about your mission as much as the founding teams? So it's like the early people who get in there early, and then you start adding on team members. Like, how do you, as you continue to add, because how many team members are you guys up to now?
Oh gosh, close to 60.
So how do you get, like, once you get to 40, 50, 60, how do you get them to buy in?
That is what we're still learning now. It really, like, we're focusing on now, and I think it's several things, because people are different. Like, I think one of the biggest mistakes we make, especially as marketers, is we try to say, this is our customer, this is how they think, this is how they feel, but that's not true. Like it's like a bell curve, right? You might nail it for some people, but you have people that are spread out all in that bell curve. And the same thing with your employees. Like, you're gonna have some employees that they're making $40,000 a year, but they'd be super motivated if they're making 80. So if you can build in incentive plans in and around, stock options are great for that. I mean, that's why these tools exist, because they do motivate people. Performance pay, things like that, are obviously can be very motivating for some people. You're gonna have other people, they hit $75,000 a year or whatever that number is in their own head, and they're like, okay, I'm there. Like, that ceases to be a motivation. So you need other things. And I think anytime you have a CEO or a leadership team that can really project vision, can develop and project vision, and then do that consistently over time and constantly let people know, here's what our values are. Like, here's why we're striving to do what we do, and constantly project that, like you do, in a very consistent way. I walk in the bathroom and I see values, I mean, that stuff's important, but that very much motivates people and is very complementary to other forms of motivation, like stock options or performance pay. So.
One other quick thing too, just saying with frontline leaders, getting them to buy in, is hearing them, listening to their voice, letting them have a voice at the table, even if they weren't there from the original founders. Showing value to them. You showing them that you value them, hearing their ideas, whether you implement them or not, but just having a voice at the table sometimes means a lot and a ton to a person who's new to the organization and really get a chance to say something.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
That is so incredibly true. Like, we literally fractured just within probably the past 6 months. We started a culture committee, and it's made up of employees. There's not a leadership person on that team, and it's the employees telling us what your culture look like what are the actions we need to take to actually implement that culture, and it's really neat. Some of the ideas that have been born out of that committee are awesome.
Craig had asked something about people. He has all these digital marketing companies coming to him promising to deliver leads, like, I'm going to deliver all these leads to you and stuff. How would you advise a business to sift out a marketing company, a digital media company? What should they be looking for?
That is an absolutely fabulous question, and I get those same people. Like, my inbox, I probably have 5 cold call outreaches in my inbox right now. So, first of all, understand that if somebody is cold outreaching to you and presenting you with a solution, and the presentation of that solution or that outreach doesn't ever really include any information about your company or show that they've done any research in your company, I'd be very wary about what they actually know about you when they're promising to help you. And then really dig through what they're actually offering you. How customizable is it? How does it express their knowledge of your personal pain or your company's pain and what you guys are trying to accomplish? Do they even understand your goals? Or are they just trying to market this one-size-fits-all lead generation platform that they have out there? And I won't mention any names of companies, but I definitely think that, if you just stop and really think about your customers, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. What do your customers need? What do your customers really want? How are they looking at the world? Like, what are their big pain points? That's what you have to answer. And whether or not that company helps you, like, their solutions that they're presenting should involve that.
Are you guys doing anything with bots?
We are running a test right now with Facebook advertising that is, it's AI driven, and what it's essentially done is it is taking ads that we've already run and allowing us to scale those ads across hundreds, if not thousands, of different audiences. Now, I'm not going to say it's been successful yet. We're still in the testing phase, but we're looking to see if that level of scalability is that going to help us improve the efficiency of our Facebook ads. We're already pretty good at Facebook advertising. To be honest, I have a guy that's really, really good, and so the jury's still out on that one.
Okay. And sorry, these are all marketing questions.
No, that's good. I'm learning some myself. I'm glad they asked these questions. I'm learning myself here.
What's one thing most businesses aren't doing that they should be doing?
Taking advantage, especially small businesses, taking advantage of the incredible free tools that are available out there. I mean, Google, I tell people this all the time in one-to-one conversations. Google does not want to have a one-night stand with you. They don't want to make a quick buck off of you. They want to get married and to your business, and they want to make little bits of money off you for the entire life of your business. And they've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in developing incredible tools. If you're not using Google Analytics to measure your website and really understanding what you're looking at, then you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're not using Google Tag Manager to make sure that your site's running quickly, and that all the various marketing tags that Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram and every other tool that you use is asking you to fire on your website, you're doing yourself a disservice. Use Google Tag Manager, use Google Analytics, and there's a million other free tools that you could really be using, but take advantage of the free tools that are out there.
How about that from a leadership standpoint? What's one thing most businesses aren't doing that they should be doing?
They're not focusing on the front line. I think they could focus on the front line more. That's the face to the customer. That gets the product done. I mean, when Herb talked earlier, he talked about leadership team, but he talked about the production side and how they've done just a heck of a job. They're the engine under the hood that keeps that thing going. And so them investing in them, more development opportunity, training opportunities to make sure they're the best of the best, it keeps them going. So
our support team might be the strongest team in the whole company. Honestly, I mean, they are truly the ones that are touching the cup. They have such an incredibly high customer evaluation. Like, I mean, their customer satisfaction is like 98%, 99%. I mean, they do a great job with customers, and they invest a lot of time in it. Be better at that.
What's the most important leadership trait?
The most important leadership, man, there's so many of them. If you nail me down to one, I would say the ability to be able to influence. All the other things, be it communication, be it productivity, we bring all whatever it is, we bring all those things together for one reason, to be able to influence employees to do something, influence customers to buy. It's all about influencing someone, so you're working on all of those things, bring them all together so that you can be a better influencer.
That reminds me of a quote, one of my favorite leadership quotes. I don't even know who said it, but it's like, leadership is getting others to do what you want them to do because they want to do it.
Right.
Yeah, influence, man.
Right.
I'd have to say emotional maturity, high EQ.
Yep.
High EQ.
If you could shadow one person for an entire day, who would it be and why?
I'm going to do you first, or
I'm buying time, man.
Man, oh man, I'm like, one person for a day and why?
That's a tough one. So many to choose from. I mean, I could probably give you one of my top 5.
That's fine.
Gosh, I would have loved to spend, a day, a week, a month, an hour with John Wooden.
That's a little good. That's a good one.
To see what he did with all those young men.
That's a good one.
Consistently over time. He didn't win a championship. He won a decade.
That's a good one.
I mean,
I think President Kennedy, maybe if I could, just to kind of see his mindset and some of the time frames and how he shaped America and how he just injected people with an excitement to be the best and move forward, and some of the things and how he kind of did that. For me, I would love to hear just his thought process, what was going on, what did he see, and how did he influence people to move forward. I think that was a huge time in our history to really move forward, so I'll say that.
Awesome. Thanks. You guys are the best, man. You guys are the best. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks very much, man.
So.